Welcome back to the At Home with Roby show. I'm Ashley Davis along with Trent Haston from the Roby family of companies. Visit us today at andrewroby.com. That's Andrew, R-O-B-Y.com. Or you can always find us on the WBT.com homepage. Trent, before the break, we talked about a lot of things international. We had Paul on from Rush Espresso. It was great to hear his conversation about moving here from Australia. We're now joined by Adam Stevens, principal at the British International School of Charlotte. If you're not familiar with this school, it's a gym down in Ballantyne. You need to check it out. And Adam, obviously as an international, the British International School, you have a lot of families moving here and then they become part of the school. What's that process like for you and how are you integrated into that process?
Thank you, and thank you for having me on this morning. I really appreciate it. And we do. We get a lot of families that are relocating from other parts of the world and also from within the United States. And we're a big part of that process. I think when you're moving from one country to another, it's a huge journey that you're on. And I've done that journey, and I know just how challenging that journey is. And I think there are two fundamental things that you have to get ticked off before anything else can fall into place. And the first one is school. School, if you've got children, is the big one. Getting the right school for your kids is critical. And then after you found your school, that's when you start to look at your home. Where are you going to live and the kind of home that's available in that kind of an area? So we work with lots of families who we're their first port of call in Charlotte. They arrive a little anxious, a little worried, because they need to get that component part fixed. And over the course of the time with us, from talking about the school to walking through the school and meeting our kids and our teachers, you can visibly see that stress just move away. Their face and their demeanour completely changes. Because let's face it, if your kids aren't happy and are not getting the right kind of education, well, mum's going to be distraught and dad's going to be extremely worried. But if it is going right, and kids are happy and they're content and they're getting the kind of education that they need, well, mum's thrilled and dad's relieved. So school plays an important part in that relocation process.
Makes the whole life and the whole family experience much easier when they're moving.
Mr. Stevens, I feel like I need to be proper. You sound so
He is the
elegant,
principal, so you could get sent to the office after the show.
But y'all used to be known as the British American School of Charlotte, and I know you changed the name recently to the British International School. Speak on that a little bit. That's intriguing.
Yeah, well, we did. I mean, when the school was set up here, it was named the British American School of Charlotte, and we are still very much American. 70% of the families that join our school are American-born families.
Oh, wow.
We are very proud to be here in Charlotte, which is an absolute gem within the world. I mean, it is a fantastic place to live. So in that sense, we're very much American. And the people we get to spend our time with and many of the administrative staff in the school are American-born families. So we are still very much American. However, the move from American to international was to just better capture what our school is truly about. Our school is an international school. We're connected to 42 other schools across the globe through Nord Anglia Education. Our curriculum and our outlook is about giving children an international education. And all of our staff, all of our teaching staff, are British trained and experienced teachers. And in that sense, we're much more international. So it reflects us more accurately in terms of the provision that we're offering children and families in this area, as opposed to offering an Americanized curriculum, because that just isn't us. We do it very differently.
That's like branding 101, right? I mean, does your name reflect who you are as a business? And I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. So, Adam, how long have you been in Charlotte?
Right, I came here in 2008, so I've been here for a little while now, and it was an easy decision for me. I visited during the interviewing process for this position here as the principal of the British International School, and at first I was looking around places around the airport. That's where I had my hotel, and thought, maybe this isn't quite the place for me.
Whoa.
Better move on.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just looking at forests and nothing else.
Yeah.
And then I came down to other parts of Charlotte and hit Ballantyne area, and it completely transformed my whole understanding of this area. And I couldn't agree with the previous guy. I go back to the UK to recruit all of our teachers, and one of the ways in which I describe this place is that it's almost like Mickey Mouse gets up every morning and cuts the grass with nail clippers. Everything is manicured and very clean, but that's not the reason to come here. The reason to come here is actually the people. It is a diverse international community and a growing diversity in this community, and it is with a great sense of warmth that we're always greeted. There's not a day goes by when I don't walk into somewhere and someone says, "Hi, where are you from?" And I say, "I'm from the UK originally," and they say, "Well, welcome." And I don't think there's anywhere else in the States that gives you that kind of a welcome.
It is a great, it's a great aspect of what the Carolinas and Charlotte specifically is all about. If you're just joining us, we're talking with Adam Stevens. He's with the British International School of Charlotte. If you want to know more about their programs, what they're doing, you can call them at 704-341-3236. Talk to Adam, talk to Melanie over there. They've got a lot of things we'll talk about in the next segment of what they're doing. But Adam, we're a home show. Obviously, Roby's a home builder, home custom builder. Roby Realty is all about relocation and helping people find their dream home. What's it like living here in terms of the homes and what the aspect of finding a home, buying a home, living in a home? What's different here versus overseas, and specifically the UK?
I think it's a very different game buying a home over here. And when we have families that come to look at our school first, and then they're going to go and work with realtors to find the right kind of home for them to live in, I begin to just talk about some of my experience and the experiences I've gleaned from other families that have made that journey. And just in terms of language, there's a significant difference. We might all speak English, but when it comes to buying a house, there's a whole plethorage of technical vocabulary that comes into play that means different things in different places. And having somebody that can work with you and be able to do that translation for you. Let me give an example. When I came over here, in the UK, when you buy a house, you have a survey of the house, and you pay someone to come in and look at the structural integrity of the building, and that it's going to last for another 100 years or so. Whereas over here, I was told that an inspection is very similar to a survey, which it isn't, because a survey would not go and look at the painting and look at the cracked window. It's only going to look at the structure of the building. The inspection is a very different kind of concept. And having someone who gets that somebody from overseas sees the world differently and can translate it for them is a huge, huge asset.
So you're telling me that Americans have become spoiled and picky. Is that what you said?
No, we've just got different kinds of approaches to buildings.
I understand.
I like changed on that light fixture before I buy this house.
I like the old school approach. I mean, we're old school Charlotte, which is not that old, but I like that. I think I always talk about a house. A good home is, and people don't get it all the time. I'm like, this is a heavy house. And they're like, oh, yeah, heavy. Like, it has heavy moldings. I'm like, no. If you weighed this house, it would be significantly heavy. And I really think, you also have to weigh in what it costs to build a house, and you can't build stone houses anymore financially, logically, right, for a normal person. But the heavier the house is, if it's built correctly, it makes it a lifetime home and a generational home. So I love that approach. Now, y'all do have crabgrass over there, which we don't have, you said.
We don't have crabgrass. We have a different kind of grass, and you have a lot more of it over here, and it's very well looked after. I think there are lots of differences between the way in which, in Europe particularly in the United Kingdom, the way in which we experience our homes compared to over here. For a starter, homes in the UK typically are significantly more expensive than they would be here in the Charlotte area. Your home dollar goes a lot further here in Charlotte than it would do over in the UK, and you get a much larger sized home. So some of the advantages of not having brick is those big open plan spaces. You don't need to have those internal brick walls to hold up the roof that's made out of slate. So you can have much big open spaces, and that just adds to the quality of life that you can have when you're in a home. So typically, as families come over, once the school is ticked off, and they come back to us and they say, we went looking at homes, and that was it. It was a clincher. Charlotte is the place for them.
So Charlotte helps you sell because the home market is so enticing to people that move to Charlotte from other places of the world.
I think there's lots of reasons to live here in Charlotte, and it isn't just the weather, and it isn't just the size of the homes. It's actually the people, and it's the opportunities that are here. And schools are part of that, and there are lots of choices of schools here in Charlotte. Including us.
Absolutely. It's the British International School. That's who's with us today. Principal Adam Stevens. If you want to know more, you can call him at 704-341-3236. We're going to talk more after the break, Adam. But real quick, can you just touch on Nord Anglia and what that means we got about 30 seconds before the break.
Nord Anglia Education is the world's leading premier private school, international school group in the world. We have 42 schools spanning all over the globe, from China to Switzerland to Vietnam. And as a collective group, we can achieve so much more than an individual school can do on their own, just because of the extensive range of our professional development network, as well as the network that our children can engage with. It's a tremendous organization.
It is. Hold that thought. You're going to stay with us through the break. When we come back, we're going to learn more about Nord Anglia and specifically the British International School of Charlotte. You're listening to the At Home with Roby show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.